Hello my friends, Otodil here, and today I want to tell you all about my experiences with the Galaxy S22. It's not the S22 Ultra or the S22 Plus, it's the base version, the S22, and I actually had a lot of experiences with it as I've been using it for more than 2 weeks now. I used it as my primary phone. I have taken a lot of photos, a lot of videos. I'm just going to show you everything right now, and I hope you're going to enjoy and decide for yourself, is the Galaxy S22 the phone for you? Let's begin. So first of all, my friend, here is the phone itself. This is the main camera array, and on the front side we have a main selfie camera, or a 10 megapixel selfie camera. I'm going to talk about these cameras in a moment because I've been using them a lot. On the bottom we have a USB-C plug and the speakers that are on the bottom of the phone. One thing I gotta tell you guys is that after using this for a while, I actually think I'm gonna switch to smaller sized phones. This is a 6.1 inch screen on this phone. It's actually an amazing screen. It has a high refresh rate of 120 Hz. And I felt like in the end, after using a big or large phone for many years, maybe I need to downsize a bit. So, by the way, if you're for the first time on this channel, definitely click on the red subscribe button if you want to see my future gadget reviews, because I'm going to compare this phone to a future phone I have also tested over here with a lot of interesting results in comparison. So the first thing I want to show you guys is some videos that I took on photos and actually show you a real world example of how you're going to use the camera array on the Samsung S22. Okay, so if you haven't ate already, that would be a good time. This would be a good time because I'm taking a lot of photos and videos of food, and I really hope that you are not hungry while you're actually watching this review. So first of all, I had this vegetable dinner, and as you can see right now, I took 3 photos of this food deal. And the interesting thing with this food deal, the specific food deal, is that you can see right now there is 3 different cameras over here, and they are very different. We have the wide, the ultra wide, the wide, which is our main camera, and we have our zoom camera. Now the zoom camera, I'm going to talk about the specs in a moment, is just amazing. As you can see right now, it really shows you the detail of whatever you are taking photos of, and I'm actually standing at the same place while I'm changing between these 3 cameras. This is my main camera, and also you get a lot of great results from it, a good quality for the photos, and also when zooming in you can see how detailed this photo is. If you switch to the ultra wide, you'll see that we're getting a lot less details, and that is because this is a very different camera from what we just saw with the main camera and the zoom one. Okay, so now let's talk about specs while we are looking at another example of how these cameras actually work together. So the first camera we're looking at here is the ultra wide. This is a 12 megapixel f2.2 camera, and as you can see, it actually gets in a lot of light even though this place is not that lit up. When I actually switch from this camera to our main one, you'll see that I get even more light and even more detail. I actually like this photo more than the ultra wide one, which didn't really capture focus on my main element, which is kind of weird, and you're going to see that in some of my future examples. When going all the way into the zoom camera or the wide camera, the telephoto camera, as you can see right now, we are actually getting a lot of details, and I just love this. This is a 70mm telephoto f2.4 10 megapixel camera, and it's amazing. It also has a neat OIS feature, or optical image stabilization, which you're gonna see in a moment taking place in a video, and it's definitely great. Zooming in, you can also have digital zoom. It's not really useful. I really hate doing and using that, and actually I just use it when I really want to take like some kind of plate number for a car or something like that. Not many times I'm actually using digital zoom and enjoying the results that I get, and as you can see here, that's the same case. So I have a video over here of food again, and I'm just going to show you me walking through the 3 different cameras. This is the zoom camera, and we're going to switch back to the main camera and then all the way back to the ultra wide. As you can see, a lot of details on the main camera and the zoom. The ultra wide is it loses a lot of details when you go to it, so you want to use it just for vlogging and probably not anything else. The other cameras are just better. Here's an example of low light situation. I took some photos and videos of my friends, as you can see right now. So I have my cat over here, and just switching between the video, you can see the video cameras. You can see that the zoom camera is not doing a good job over here. Actually, in low light, this camera is not going to be a one that I'm going to choose. This camera and the ultra wide really have a hard time with low light. It's an f2.4 camera, doesn't get that much light in, and you can see that with the detail and the noise. Here's a photo. The photos are great because you're using night mode, which Samsung adds to these phones, and they work just awesome even when you have low light scenarios like this one. So we have another friend coming in, just another photo of them together until the fight breaks out, like usually happen with these when these two guys meet up, especially when you give food to one of them. So here's a video of the main camera. Just look at the stabilization on this. I mean, just look at how stable everything is. It's like a gimbal taking, it's like you took this video with a gimbal and high machinery and heavy machinery whatsoever. Here's another photo example of food, as I'm usually taking this type of photos, just using the zoom camera is amazing on this. It's a telephoto camera that really brings out the details. It has a bit too much over sharpening on it, but I just love the result. Another video, low light, me taking video of my cat. As you can see, very stable video. I love this. The S22 from Samsung really has an amazing 50 megapixel main camera. I like it a lot. Another video just showing the differences between the cameras. So here's the main camera, and here is the telephoto or the zoom camera, and it does an amazing job. You can see a bit of a blurry background when you focus on an object that's a bit closer to you, and gets the job really done in terms of like showing all the details of whatever you're actually photographing and taking video of. So good job. Here's a video of me with my friends, some influencers in my country, tech influencers that we met up for a project together. And as you can see, just look at the stability mechanisms on this phone. It's crazy. That's the ultra wide right now. Switching to the telephoto, also very stable, has a super steady video function. Switching back to the main camera, video is very stable. It's amazing with all of these cameras, and that's not something that you see on many phones. A lot of noise in low light, and that's something that you see sadly on many phones and even in this one. So if we switch up to even crazier scenario where you basically don't have any light sources, just a bit of street lights. I took this video, three different cameras. The telephoto, horrific, can't see any details that much. Main camera, you can really see some details, but the ultra wide just gets destroyed with this low light scenario. So that's something in video you need to understand. The low light scenario is gonna kill your zoom telephoto, and it's gonna also kill your ultra wide. So midday scenario, lots of photos, as you can see. The zoom, they all look great. I had some video taking of this friend over here. Zoom kind of struggled with, the focus kind of struggled with this object, doesn't seem to understand what I'm actually trying to photograph or take video of. So you'll see it jumping all over the place, and that's going to happen to you if you actually work with animals, which many people actually do. And when switching to the zoom camera or the telephoto, as you can see right now, it was basically you could never get this. I could never get the focus on it for it. So there's an issue with animals and getting focus. It's something that you should understand. But in the end, after testing it out, you get amazing photos. And if you actually manage to manually set the focus, you're gonna get images like this, which I really like. So that's a big thing here, guys. The camera setup is not bad at all, like in many phones. Obviously, if you need to take low light photos and videos, you're gonna have a bit of a problem with probably most phones you'll choose these days, but definitely you don't want to use anything else than your primary camera. Another thing I want to do is, this is not a technical review, it's more of an experience-based review of my experiences with the phone. I just want to go through the specs and actually tell you what are the specifications that I actually think are being done well on this phone and what are some of the things that I actually would have wanted to have with better specs on it. So we're going to switch back to the phone information here on GSM Arena. And the big thing for me was the actual weight of the phone. It's 167 or 168, depends on the model, grams. And it's I've been using a lot of big phones recently. So switching down to 167, 8 grams, it's a big deal. I mean, it means losing at least 35 grams. And if you're like me holding the phone all day, every day, you're really going to enjoy the lightweight of this phone. It has all the features you'd expect from a phone at this price range, including IP68 dust and water resistance, and the screen protection, which is calling Gorilla Glass Victus Plus, and it actually fell twice. So it managed to survive these falls. Resolution, I wouldn't expect nothing bigger than that. I mean, you do get over 400 pixels per inch, which is definitely great, at least for my standards. And with HD, I mean, you're gonna get really, really crisp screen and details, and everything's gonna really look amazing. So it's a 6.1. That's the size of the screen on it. It's a dynamic AMOLED 2X. And I think like one of the things that I actually like about this screen is that you can really lower down the brightness, and using Android 12 extra dim feature, you are really going to enjoy this phone when you are at night. And some of the phone manufacturers actually don't implement the extra dim feature, which is really important for people like me who use the phone at night and actually look for the lowest brightness they can get. So it's a 120 Hertz, it's an HDR10 Plus, and it has a brightness level intensity of 1300 nits at the peak. Beyond the display, which I have no complaints on, I actually have complaints on the battery. It's not the biggest one I've seen. So it's 3,700 or 3,700 milliamps per hour. English is not my first language, by the way, so sorry if I'm butchering it for you guys. I'm just going to tell you my experiences as honestly as I can from actually using this phone, even though I'm not really an English speaker, because I actually do this in multiple languages, this video. So you have fast charging, 25 watts. You have, which is, by the way, not a fast charge. Always, I kind of have problems with saying fast charging and 25 watts. I've seen the Xiaomi's 120 watts charging, and it charges up your phone in like 17 minutes. And then I saw the new Xiaomi 12, which has 67 watts fast charging, and that charges up your phone in 40 minutes. So this is gonna charge up your phone in around 1.5 hours. It's a long time. It's not fast. I mean, not fast for me, that's for sure. We actually have wireless charging on this, 15 watt, and reverse wireless charging, which I believe nobody actually uses. If you use that, let me know in the comments below. I don't understand who actually gives out battery life to other people, especially when he has 3,700 milliamps. So we have a fingerprint reader under the screen, which works great. It supports Samsung DeX, which is also amazing. It has fast USB Type-C, which means you can actually transfer files at a high speed, and that's not something that you see on many phones these days, and not many people actually make note of that. Selfie camera is 10 megapixel f2.2, not the greatest one I actually tested, but in the end it's a generic camera that you will enjoy. I would have wished for an 1.8 over here on the selfie, so we could just take photos and videos with better light intensity when in the dark. So this has Android 12. I talked about it. It has also an option, depends on where you live, to get it with the Exynos 2200 or with the Qualcomm SMB 450, or this, it's actually called Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. So it's a 4 nanometer new processor, and there is also a lot of information on the internet about how powerful this processor is, but that it sometimes gets more heat. So I'm still researching into that, don't have any final statement, but I actually played on this phone a lot. Didn't find any issues with overheating that could have like stopped me from continuing my playtime. So we talked about the platform, the CPU, we talked about the display, the body. I think that beyond the camera and the battery that I kind of talked a lot about, this is one of definitely one of the best phones that I've used. I mean, for me, the big deal with this phone is that I've been using a big, large screen up until now for many years, and having a 6.1 these days is something that I actually thought is going to be too small for me, but that's not the case. I'm actually enjoying this more, and I actually chose this phone above other phones that I have laying around over here that have a bigger screen, just because I knew I'm going to sit and watch some Netflix show or whatever, and I don't want to hold something that's going to be a bit of a burden. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This is basically my thoughts on the Galaxy S22 after using it, and definitely subscribe if you want to see. Click here, me on my future videos. 2 more reviews over here on the side, another one over here. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to see you on my future video reviews. Thank you very much for watching. I was Roto Deal. Bye bye.